But they'll say that. How are you going to say that the Egyptians have nothing to offer? Or the Greeks have nothing to offer? The Romans have nothing to offer. They have so much that we can learn from them. And so we engage in all wisdom. Look at this one. Kindness to those who what? Deserve it. See, we're not evil. Satan wasn't evil, but he's just evil to people who deserve it. See, somebody want to mess with you, you get them back. Come on, how many of us just want to hit somebody or do something to somebody that's been doing something to us? We've had that urge. It's inside of us. It plays with our flesh. And so that's what he does. He comes as something that's like, man, this sounds really good, man. Yeah. Why am I going to do good to somebody that don't deserve it? That makes sense, right? They don't deserve it. They've been beating on them, doing this and doing that. Why should I do good to them? So if you do good to me, I'm going to hook you up. So we're going to do good to people. We're going to be kind to people who deserve it. Vengeance. Man, how many of us want to get some vengeance? We teach responsibility. Man, that sounds really good, doesn't it? Man, it's responsibility. Man, it's just another animal. Free will and free thinking and a free what? Lifestyle. Free whatever you want to do. You want 2 wives? Go look it up. Ladies, y'all want, Maz Mitzvah and, hey, do it. Whatever you want. Experience. Life free. And so, this is some of the ways that these atheistic Satanists, they don't necessarily believe in a higher power, but it's a symbol of what he represents. They believe that it empowers the individual to be their own God. We are our own God. We determine what we're going to do and what happens in the world. We are our own take care. I like this one. If you're going to thank somebody, you know what you need to thank? Thank yourself. How many of us got a good grade on one of our exams or something that we've been doing? Man, you did that work. How you going to thank God? Was God with you when you were studying for that? Was God there when you had to come and sit in the class? You did all that work. It was you, it was you, it was you. So why are we going to thank somebody that's made believe? Thank yourself. That's what they'll teach. And so you begin to buy into it. And so you have different groups. The Church of Satan and so on and so on. I want to stop for a minute. You can call it what you want. See, the thing is that all these things that it was talking about is not all of them are going to say we're Satanists. Matter of fact, you say to some of them, oh, well, they're Satanists. No, we're not. It's not about the name, but it's about what?
Teaching.
The teaching. It's about the message. Let's go back. What have we been talking about? The deceit of the enemy. How does he deceive us? By casting doubt. How can I say God is a liar? How can I cast doubt on what he has said? Again, a perversion of truth. Everything that we just went over is a perversion of truth. Thank yourself. That's a perversion of truth. Influence idol worship. How can I get you to worship something other than God? Whether or not yourself, somebody else.
I need to explain the first one, cast doubt on God.
How can I get you to cast, the enemy wants us to doubt God. So how can I get you to doubt God? So I can come to you and I can say, you know what, God really doesn't care about us. Man, God, why? If God cared about you, then why would he have you broke? Why would he have you suffering? If he really cared about you, why would he allow innocent people to suffer? Cast doubt on God. All right. Ultimately encourage rebellion. All of these things. So again, everything that they taught and represent, it teaches rebellion, free will, free thinking, do what you want. That's rebellion against God, and ultimately is the spirit of the Antichrist. The second major division of Satanism is theistic. This is where they believe in Satan as a spirit. They believe him to be God, or a God. This is what Crowley worshiped. This is what Crowley believed as far as concerning Satan. most theistic Satanists believe that Satan is good. How many of us are going to worship something evil? I mean, not too many people, so they pervert it. Again, that's what Satan does. That's how he deceives us, is he perverts the truth. And so he takes what we might think is evil and turns it into good. And that's one of the ways that they get people. That's one of the ways that they deceive people, is they pervert the truth and make it seem like, no, Satan is actually the good guy. And we talked about a couple of weeks ago how you have the story of Adam and Eve. The story of Adam and Eve, they make the serpent to be the good guy. Well, see, the serpent was really trying to tell them the truth. And that's what Gnosticism teaches. And so you have Gnostics who believe that Satan is the one who brings this gnosis. Now, not all Gnostics believe that Lucifer is the one who brings the gnosis. And that's a whole different topic. But there are a lot who believe that Lucifer is the one that brings this gnosis, this knowledge. Then you also have Luciferians who believe Lucifer to be good, but they're not necessarily Gnostics. So not all Luciferians are Gnostics, not all Gnostics are Luciferians. So then you have also Luciferians who believe, again, in Lucifer, but as a good guy. For them, it's a never-ending quest for wisdom and a force, or finding a force behind particular aspects of nature. So it encourages studying several ancient cultures. So likewise, studying Egypt, Rome. And so you're on this journey to find knowledge. And you look at, again, going back to this whole idea of nature. Because a lot of theistic Satanists, they indulge, does anybody want to guess? Think about it, nature. And understanding the powers of nature. What do you think they indulge in?
Culture.
Culture. Power behind nature.
Science.
A little bit closer. Sorcery. Magic. A lot of magic and sorcery is looking into Mother Nature and the forces behind nature and taking those forces behind nature. And so you have a lot of theistic, you're laughing. Who's laughing? Somebody hear somebody laughing?
No, the chair.
Oh, the chair. No, because we laugh, but for them this is real. And so they're taking these forces and they really indulge in magic. Again, this is a perversion of truth. It's turning evil into good. You might ask, you might say, well, who would really fall for this? How many of us would, after me talking about this, say, hey, okay, yeah, I want to jump right in. I want to be a part of that. Come on, how many of us, as I'm talking about this, like, what does this really have to do with? I'm with you, but come on, I'm not falling for this. How many of us really felt like, I'm not up and going to start doing sorcery, start doing some of this stuff? Anybody kind of thinking that in the back of their head? I'm not going to do that. Nobody said I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm asking you. How many of us are really thinking like, man, that's good information, but I would never do that? Okay, praise the Lord. All right.
Now you got it.
Because that's an honest question. We hear things, and we're like, man, I wouldn't do that. I mean, man, look, a fool would only do that. But again, is Satan going to come at you like this? You know how Satan's going to come at you? He's going to come at you like this.
Oh, it makes sense.
Nothing innocent about that.
No. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. What is this for? What is this? For those who don't know, it's Twilight.
Yeah.
But this is a perversion. I'm just trying to show us a perversion of truth that is so subtle, it's entertainment. But it's a perversion of truth. Here it is, we have, who are these? Who are they?
The Collins.
The McCollin family. Are they good or bad? Come on, are they good? Man, y'all act like y'all don't know what this is.
Vegetarian vampires.
Are they good or bad?
They portray to be good.
All together, are they good or bad?
Good.
They're good.
Portrayed to be good.
So these are the, wait. So they're vampires,
Vegetarian vampires.
but they're good.
That's what they call themselves. They're vegetarian.
I'm just trying to work with it for a minute. They're vampires, But they're the good vampires. You got the bad vampires. Then you got the good vampires. And you know, they don't drink human blood, they just drink animal blood.
Oh my God.
So it's not a big deal because I'm not killing humans. I'm just drinking the animal blood. And I'm just the walking dead. I'm dead, but I'm walking. But hey, I'm the good vampire. And what happens is we're rooting for the what?
Good vampires.
The good vampires. And we're like, yeah, go. Yeah, get on. And we're all into it. And man, we got folks who are, folks are indulging themselves now in this whole concept of vampires. Going to a realm that they themselves never thought they would go.
Hospitals are seeing more patients come in with neck bites.
Oh.
It's true. People are indulging in this now because what was once something subtle, what was once something that it was just like, well, that's just innocent, has now captivated people. And they are now indulging in a perversion of truth. The Bible says this in Genesis, but you must never eat animals that still have their lifeblood in them.
Amen.
But they're good. They don't drink the people blood. God says it's an abomination.
Good information. I like that.
It's an abomination. But yet we're entertained. Man, they're good, innocent. And we're rooting for Bella. Go, Bella. Get him. Turn him, Bella. Turn him. Get turned into a vampire. All right. Leviticus. And I will turn against anyone, whether an Israelite or foreigner living among you who eats or drinks blood. What?
In any form.
In any form. God isn't playing about that. Do you think it's by accident? And what's interesting, this perversion of truth, is this was something that, at least before, vampires were always what? Bad. I'm just trying to show us how Satan is perverting the truth before us. We don't even realize it.
So subtle.
It's so subtle. Because there's nothing wrong with stories of good and evil. That's not what I'm talking about. Is there evil?
Yes.
The Bible has stories of good and evil. But it's when you take what was evil and you make evil what?
Good.
Good. And now you're rooting for what was really evil. And so people watch Scarface and they're actually rooting for Scarface. Man, I just wish he would have lived. Or, you know, they're rooting for Scarface. They're rooting for the bad guy. How are we rooting for the bad guy? It's a perversion of truth. How about this one? The Good Witch. Is it Glinda?
Glenda.
Glinda, the Good Witch. Wizard of Oz. Everybody ever seen Wizard of Oz? We probably all seen it as we were kids. And so we grew up, and so you have the bad witch, and you have the good witch. Is that true?
No.
Is there such thing as a good witch?
No.
But we sure would like to believe that, though. Man, you got the fairy godmother, and she comes, and she's going to give you what you want, and it's just a happy story. Man, I want to believe in that. I was so warm. What's wrong with having, she did good. But God says what?
Which God's abomination?
What about, man, look.
Wow.
Think about all the shows that are a perversion of truth. Again, we all say, man, I wouldn't fall for that. But we have no idea we're being indoctrinated with it. And it's so subtle, it's like it's just entertainment.